Hello everyone and welcome back to another Championship score predictions video. We are up to game week 4 and this had to be uploaded at the time where currently Middlesbrough are drawing 1-1 with Sheffield United. That is half time currently in that game, and then of course Blackburn and West Brom is kicking off in about 20 minutes time. So those two games haven't finished yet. Blackburn, West Brom hasn't started yet, but this video has to be recorded and released because game week 4 is happening in 2 days time on Tuesday. So, had to get this video out there. Let's begin then for game week 4 predictions. The Coventry City against Wigan Athletic game is postponed due to Coventry City's pitch once again being deemed unsafe to play on. So that's 2 games now that Coventry City's pitch has not withstood the referee check or something. But anyway, so we've got 11 games to predict for this game week 3. Let's get started with Birmingham City against Watford, where Watford, they beat Burnley 1-0 in their last game. Watford been looking pretty solid so far, of course. They got a new manager. That isn't really much of a surprise from Watford, but Rob Edwards coming in from Forest Green Rovers. It was a big step up, seeing that he just got promoted with Forest Green Rovers from League 2 to League 1, coming straight up to the Championship and then pretty much into the Premier League as well straight away, because Watford fans will be, wanting to get straight back up. He's had a really good start, not lost yet. They're in second place currently in the league table, but it doesn't really, the league table doesn't matter for the first 5 games. Anyone can be anywhere. You have to wait for the games to come in, and then the points difference. But Birmingham City have actually had a pretty decent start so far. I don't think it will continue. I do think they'll fall off in a few weeks' time. But they did lose 1-0 to Cardiff in their last game. They're at home in this one. Against Watford, I think it'll be a bit too, hard for Birmingham to pick up anything from this game, and I do think it'll be a nice, comfortable 2-0 victory for the Hornets in this one. And then we move on to Bristol City against Luton Town, where Luton Town they lost 1-0 to my team, Preston North End. A great victory yesterday it was, and well, yeah, it was. Luton Town, I can say, were still really, really good, and I do think they'll be too good for Bristol City in this game. But I do think Bristol City will get one. Andrus Weimann, their striker, scored 20 odd goals for Bristol City last season. He's the only difference really at the moment. At Bristol City, I don't think Bristol City will have a good season, but Andrus Weimann will keep on scoring. And he'll keep them up. But I am going to say Luton Town to get a 2-0 away victory. It'll be their first victory of the season. And 2-1 to Luton Town. And then we move on to Turf Moor, where Burnley faced Hull City. Hull City not lost the game yet. They've had a pretty decent start. They beat Norwich City 2-1. I know Norwich City haven't had the greatest of starts. They've had a pretty poor start, actually, 3 games in the bottom of the league. But Hull City, they did well, picked up a 2-1 victory against Norwich City. Burnley, of course, I did mention them above with Watford. They did lose 1-0 to Watford in their last game, but bit of a different game this one against Hull City at home. I do think Burnley will pick up all 3 points in this one. These two sides haven't actually faced each other since 2017 when they were both in the Premier League, and that ended in a 1-1 draw. But I do think Burnley will just get a narrow 1-0 victory here. I think Hull City, they've been pretty good this season, and they'll make it tricky for Burnley. But I do think they've just got a bit too much quality, and they'll find a way through and pick up all 3 points. Coventry City against Wigan Athletic is postponed. We move on to the next one, which is Norwich City against Huddersfield Town. Norwich City struggling. Huddersfield Town, again, they finished 3rd last season. They're struggling as well. They did pick up a 3-1 victory against Stoke City, though, in their last game. Norwich, again, I mentioned them, lost 2-1 to Hull City in their last game. Look, they have to pick up a victory soon, and I keep on saying this every single week, and once again, I'm probably going to get proven wrong. It was an absolute smashing 7-0 Norwich City victory against Huddersfield Town last time these sides did play. I don't think it'll be that much, but I'm going to go for a 2-1. I am going to say Huddersfield will get one. Norwich City have definitely not been the greatest. But yeah, Norwich City, they have conceded in all of their games so far. So, I do think that will continue. But, Norwich to pick up all 3 points. Surely this is the week. And then we move on to Deepdale. Preston North End against Rotherham United. Rotherham United beat Reading 4-0. Rotherham definitely showing that they can score goals. Preston North End are also showing that they can keep a clean sheet. We have not conceded a single goal in all 3 games that we have played so far this season. We had 2 0-0 draws and a 1-0 victory against Luton Town, a very deserved win. And also, it was a long time coming, that win. But to keep a clean sheet against Luton, who kept on attacking us every opportunity. We experienced wave after attack. And, we did well. The defence really were really good in that game. Freddie Woodman's clean sheet continues. Against Rotherham United, though, we haven't beaten them in our last 5 games, where Rotherham United did win their last game 2-1 against us. I'm going to say we'll get a point. I think we'll be back to getting more draws, but against a Rotherham side that's just scored 4 goals against Reading. I know it's Reading. They're going to be poor this season. I've got them to go down. But Rotherham United, just to score 4 really against any side, did very well. It will be very tricky though for them to break down our defence, especially at home as well. But again, there's that thing that they beat us 2-1 the last 3 times that we have faced them. So I'll say we'll pick up a point. So yeah, we move on to Swansea City, who are again a side that has not had the greatest of past games. They did pick up a 1-0 victory against Blackpool in their last game, but also pretty poor start for Swansea. I know it's still early days, but crashing out of the Carabao Cup to Oxford United. Swansea City alongside with Reading, maybe even Norwich City. They're like 3 of the teams that have been doing poorly so far. Against Millwall, who have had a really good start. The only defeats coming to Sheffield United so far, but they've had a very good start to the season. Now, Swansea and Millwall. Swansea have never lost a game to Millwall in their last 5 meetings. It'll be tight. It'll be very tight, but I do think that that's going to end this week, where Millwall will get a 1-0 victory. Just to pass form, Swansea's current style of play, I do think Millwall will capitalise on that, and it'll boost them further up the table as well. So 1-0 Millwall victory in this one. Queen's Park Rangers against Blackpool. Queen's Park Rangers came back from 2-0 down to Sunderland to draw that one 2-2 at the Stadium of Light. Goalkeeper scoring the late minute equaliser for Queen's Park Rangers. You never normally see that, and apparently it was first time in Queen's Park Rangers history that a goalkeeper has scored for their side. I don't think there'll be any keeper scoring in this game though, and I do think Queen's Park Rangers will win 2-0. Blackpool, they did lose 1-0 to Swansea. They've had a pretty poor start. I do think that poor run will continue. So we'll move on to Stoke City against Middlesbrough. Again, Middlesbrough, they're live right now against Sheffield United. Not sure there's been another goal, so I assume it's still 1-1 in that game. Stoke City, they lost to Huddersfield 3-1 in their last game. They'll want to bounce back. And, considering Middlesbrough had a really good season last season, they haven't had the greatest of starts this season. Stoke City, again, they're probably just going to be mid-table-ish. Stoke City, whenever they're home at the Bet365 Stadium, against Middlesbrough, despite Middlesbrough, being probably the favourites in this one, Stoke City have always managed to pick up something at home. It is, again, one of those things like with Luton and Preston. It's they always make it difficult. Doesn't matter what the form is. I'm going to back a 1-1 draw. It was a 3-1 victory to Middlesbrough last time these two sides faced, when it was at the Riverside in Middlesbrough. But something tells me that they are going to pick up something, just given past form at the Bet365 with these two sides facing. Also, Middlesbrough, they've not picked up a victory as of yet. They could beat Sheffield United in the second half, but 1-1 draw for this one. Sheffield United against Sunderland. As I said, Sheffield United, they're still playing Middlesbrough. Sunderland, they drew 2-2 with QPR. And, Sunderland at home, I think they're going to do really well. But Sunderland away from home, I don't think they're going to do the greatest, especially against Sheffield United, where it was a 3-0 victory to Sheffield United last time these two sides faced, when it was when both teams were in the Championship back in 2017. I'm going to say 2-0 Sheffield United winning this one, and then we move on now to the final two games of this week. Reading against Blackburn. Speaking about bogey sides, Reading are quite a bit of a bogey side for Blackburn, and it was a 1-0 victory to Reading last time these two sides faced. Reading had a pretty poor start to the season. As I said, I do think that poor run will continue. I say it's going to be a point though. Reading, it's that bogey side. It's going to be this one time where Reading are going to turn up, and I'm still just going to back a draw, just given Blackburn Rovers' his side at the moment. I do think they have to pick up something in this game, surely. But at the Majeski Stadium, 2-2 draw. And then we finish off with West Brom against Cardiff City, where this was a 1-1 draw last time these two sides faced, but at the Hawthorns. West Brom haven't had the greatest of starts, still low down that table, but that's only due to them having only getting 2 draws. I think they'll pick up all 3 points in this one, and they'll do it in style as well. 3-0 I'm going to go for the Baggies. Again, West Brom are playing Blackburn Rovers about to kick off now, actually, at the time of recording. But that concludes my Championship Game Week 4 predictions. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next time.